What's going on, Culture Junkie Nation? It's your boy Kenshiro. We're back with another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. And, you know, me being an avid anime junkie, this show actually is one that I've been looking forward to for a while because we're going to be talking about the spring anime season, 2023. The spring anime season started a couple of weeks ago, a couple of weeks old. And, you know, besides Demon Slayer, which finally came back, we want to highlight a couple of other things that you probably might want to keep your eyes on for this anime season. So we're going to give you a primer of that, and we're going to be joined in the studio by a couple of special guests. I'll get to those two gentlemen in a second. But first, joining me on the show today is the Dapper One GQ. He's manning the voice box today.
Mm-hmm.
They got a Royale with cheese.
Absolutely. Also, other Steve subscribed for 23 months in a row. Appreciate that.
23 months. That's longevity for you. It's almost 2 years.
Nick Nack Paddywhack over there as well.
Oh, Nick is here. What's up, my friend? What's going on? He'll be on the show at some point soon as well. So I was alluding to a couple of special guests. We got a couple of team members from Grand Finals Gaming joining us in the studio today. Introducing me to the right. I'll let him, speak for himself. Go ahead.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Sharpe. I'm a member of Grand Finals Gaming. If you visited any of our social media, my face is on there doing the vlogs, telling you about what's going on. And then at the tournaments, I'm running the brackets, playing in the brackets, and having a good time.
All right. And, honestly, I have to be the one to introduce this man because the name is just way too good. Say what's up, Culture Junkie Nation, to SheetStainz.
What's up?
What is up?
I work with Grand Finals Gaming, and I mostly just do TO work.
Okay. But no, man. Sharpe, they're saying you need to speak up, so you need to make sure that mic is like a little bit closer to your mouth.
Absolutely.
And it's pointed at you. So if you guys can't hear Sharpe,
let me know.
Let him know. Let him know. So wait. So before I get way too ahead of myself, I want to tell the others, if you've chosen to spend the next hour of your time with us today, thank you very much for choosing to be here. We are the Culture Junkies. We put on the show every single week right here on our Twitch channel, right here at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central.
Last but not least.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shame on you.
What is he doing?
I am 100% so rude. So rude.
Yeah.
Sam Taro is here, to talk about anime. She wants to talk about more than just Pokemon, too, even though she's an avid Pokemon fan. What's up, Sam? My bad.
Hey, should I just head out? Oh
No, absolutely not.
Get over here.
Absolutely not. Yeah, no, 100%.
Look at that. Even Scorpion letting you know.
Right. Preem has also re-upped.
Yep.
Nick says, let's see if we can get into this episode without mispronouncing SheetStainz. I don't think that's gonna be very hard.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's 100% gonna be fun. I'm gonna ask you.
We'll turn it into a
right?
drinking game.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you, where'd that come from?
I have the story behind it.
Okay, we're gonna get into that, but first, I take care of a little bit of business. I want to tell the audience who is just joining us, maybe for the first time, how the show works. So the show works. We're going to be entertaining you for the next 45 minutes with 3 topics. The last 15 minutes is dedicated to you, the people, in our Power Zero segment. But if you want to help power up the show, you pay attention to these lovely 2 meters over my shoulders. The one on my right shoulder is our follow goal meter, which if you reach the goal, you will get a giveaway. Garrett, who's here in the studio with us outside, he's got his eye on this Metroid arm that Cube just doesn't seem to want to pick up. So he apparently doesn't want it. So we might have to throw it back into the water. But you'll win a prize out of GQ's treasure chest. And the goal on my left is the power up goal, or the extra life meter, where you will tack on an extra 15 minutes to the end of the power is yours or you can actually trigger it twice. So getting through that, we do have a few things in Run the Gamut we want to talk about. First and foremost, GQ 100% wants to know what the hell Ron DeSantis is thinking by continuing to pick a fight with Disney. So let me set the stage, right?
Okay, yeah.
So we talked about how Disney pulled this master stroke of a move on Ron DeSantis by circumventing his whole power play to strip them of their rights over the land that they kind of negotiated well before he was born, I believe. And he wanted to kind of, try to say, I'm the big guy, I'm the, tough guy on Trump. I'm gonna take over Disney because they didn't support my Don't Say Gay bill. Well, Disney pulled the tricks and said, hey, we're going to keep this until perpetuity and the last descendant of King Charles II passes away. So
buy that for $1.
I don't know what the hell, but GQ, why does this man keep on going on?
Look, hype train on this way.
Okay.
I don't know. It's ego. It's a horrible thing. It's getting into a fight with an opponent that you can't win against. You're playing with state money and taxpayer money. Disney is a private company that is a global company. They have very, very, very deep pockets. They can drag this out as long as they need to drag it out. So it's like, why would you even want to get into that battle? So I think at this point, it's just ego is driving him, and it's not a good look.
Look,
so
never mind the fact, like you brought up outside, that this man is only here for the next couple of. Well, actually, if he chooses to run for president, he has to resign. He can't be governor anymore, right?
Well, not even just that part of it. The thing is, if you want to run for president, and I think what he's not understanding, and again, we're not going to turn this into a political show. What he's not understanding is you have to appeal to more than just the people that support you. And there's a lot of people out there that like Disney. They like going to Disney World. They like going to Disneyland. It makes you look bad that you are trying to jump down the throat of a private company for something that they said. It's like people can have an opinion. Just because they have an opinion different than yours does not mean you have to go guns blazing trying to take them down. Disney's one of the biggest creation in Florida. They pay a crazy amount of taxes.
Crazy amount.
So it's just like, why are you poking the bear? Well, the mouse in this case.
Yeah,
it's dumb. And I would love to see him either just get dragged, to the point where it's like taxpayers are like, look, stop wasting our money on this. You're dumb. Drop it. Or Disney comes up with something even crazier to pull the rug out from under him. So
they probably have anticipated that move. So, ladies, gentlemen, do any of you have anything to weigh in on this whole Disney versus Ron DeSantis debacle?
I mean, how I just know it's just like I don't even know what he's doing. I actually just went up to Canada the past week and we just out of random I was like, I was going to school for history and history's important. Out of nowhere she was like, you know that Ron DeSantis? Like, yeah, about him. I hate that dude. It was so random. I was like,
wow.
She was like, she's trying to pull all these books about history, and I was just like, I mean, you're not wrong.
Put the mic closer to you.
You're not wrong. So it was just like, oh. So yeah, I'm a no fan of way of a fan of him. He's just poking a bear that should not be poked.
100%.
It's gonna be a fight. He's gonna lose 100%. They make so much money, and I feel like a lot of his supporters.
I'd buy that for $1.
A lot of his supporters probably also love Disney, so he's kind of losing all that. And if he wants to get any more support, he's not gonna get it. He's just at Disney.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fabner Life, appreciate the 100 bits.
Fabner Life, hello. Thank you for the bits. Appreciate that. Sharpe, you got anything?
Not really. I think you guys put it pretty well.
Okay. All right.
I'd buy that
practically,
for $1.
I'm going to ask our guests to essentially eat their mics because they're saying you're cutting in and out. So we want to pucker up. Put it right up close to you. Pucker up. Wow. Put it as close as you possibly can, and literally just eat the foam on the mic.
I feel like I'm a podcast, just being like, get closer to the mic. I listen to podcasts, so I always just yell at that. And I was like, man, I hope that doesn't happen today. And I was like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm eating my words because I was like, Garrett was so quiet when he was on the stream, and now I understand the pain. So sorry, Garrett, if you're out there.
He's already a quiet person, and that doesn't help that he's not probably eating his mic as much.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, it's keto friendly, so you're good.
Well, yeah. So, Sam, I don't know if you have anything you want to weigh in on this, but if you don't, then we're gonna move right on to the rest of the show. Anything to say on the DeSantis Disney deal?
Fight the mouse. That's all I got. Don't fight the mouse.
Pretty much.
It's all good.
Solid advice.
Solid advice. I like that. All right, guys. Let's move right along. If we get that hype train going, we would really appreciate that. Keep those bits and cheers flowing because I feel like we're doing a good job. And SheetStainz, I mean, for anything, just getting the origin of the name SheetStainz, that's worth you know. There you go. Keep giving us the cheers for that. All right. So first and foremost, the first topic of the day that we're going to talk about, you guys, this week, just yesterday actually, was the 85th anniversary of the greatest superhero of all time, Superman. Action Comics #1 debuted yesterday, 85 years ago. And I just wanted to briefly, mention that because again, Superman he was the first superhero I ever fell in love with. Like the 1978, Christopher Reeve Superman the movie. That was my bread and butter. That was me. But I've loved the character ever since. I know a lot of people, think he's corny, he's Boy Scout, whatever. Man of Steel.
Absolutely.
I love Man of Steel. What be quiet.
He's a corny Boy Scout. You got it right the first time.
Everybody's got their moments for the Man of Steel over 85 years. So I'd love to know what you guys,
For Superman.
Thank you very much. There you go. So honestly, over the 85 years, comics, movies, cartoons, doesn't matter, TV shows. What is some of you guys' favorite moments from the history of Superman over the last 85 years? SheetStainz, let's go with you first.
So I played all the Injustice games, and that kind of makes him the bad guy. But I love all those games. Just how they kind of go through, just going past and future with those. That whole Superman where he's just kind of a bad guy, because like you kind of said, he's like a Boy Scout, he's a good guy. In this one, I like it because it's different. He's not really the good guy. He's fighting all these guys, killing people, essentially, and the whole Injustice series is fun. I would like a third one. Will they ever do a third one? Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I suck at them, so that doesn't really help either. But yeah, and then I just got to bring up Man of Steel, the movie. I did that one. That was the only one that I'm a little sour about for Man of Steel.
Sour?
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
No, I didn't care for it.
Keem got another friend in the chat. So there you
Okay. Whatever.
Man of Steel, again, go ahead. You guys go ahead.
Right. So Sam is not
dog Man of Steel all day.
Sam didn't even realize that she knew anything about Superman until she let slip that she used to watch Smallville back in the day, and that 100% counts. So what was it about Smallville? Was it Lana Lang? Was it Chloe? Honestly, it was Chloe, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Chip Fitty. You know what I also just realized because I just looked it up? You know what's also part of the superhero world? Super pets. There's a Superman dog. Remember they all had
Crypto.
They all had pets.
Yeah, Crypto.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, fair enough.
Good. Yeah.
Marcus 864, my favorite Soups moment, Black Lex Luthor. He wasn't black. He just looked and sounded black.
He had a tan.
He had a bit of a tan,
Yeah.
and he was voiced by
Clancy Brown.
by Clancy Brown. So, and everybody, if you didn't see a picture of Clancy Brown and you heard that Lex Luthor's voice from Superman the Animated Series, you would have thought he maybe was black just from the way that he talked. But anyway, he's not black. I'm just saying. Anyway,
all right, how about Sharpe, man? What are your thoughts on Superman as especially him being 85 years old now?
I mean, yeah, I feel like there's definitely Superman for every generation
100
going forward since the Action Comics came out. And to echo Eladia or SheetStainz, it's like Man of Steel. That's I don't really remember how I felt about it. I was probably like, what year was that? 2013,
something like that.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
So middle school, I think it was just a movie I felt really neutral on. But before that, Cartoon Network, watching him animated. That's definitely a big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
So he's the generational hero.
Yeah, I think that, and you hit the nail right on the head with that. He is a character that has been around long enough where everybody knows something about him. Even if you're not a comic book fan, movie watcher, or any of that, everybody knows Superman's story. They know his origin. It's like, that's why I used to hate when they would when they would rehash Batman. So it's like, dude.
We've
Batman's
seen
been
the
around long
Waynes
enough.
die.
We know how Batman became Batman. Same thing with Superman. Do not give me any origin in his movie. I don't need it. Just jump right into it.
Man of Steel Krypton was really cool though.
And again, I get it. They're still, they're telling a story. They're telling it from not me, for the other people that haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Superman is a Boy Scout, and he's been boring. I'm kind of upset that Henry Cavill did not get a really good Superman movie to be in. Because, dude. If he would have been in, if Justice League would have been able to be what it became in the Snyder Cut and carried on, that probably would have restored my faith in Superman, because that was starting to get really good. And then,
but what was your favorite Superman moment?
Oh, there aren't any.
Oh, come on. not even drunk Superman in Superman 3?
No.
Come on.
Again, as a kid, yes, I like Superman, and then I grew up and Batman was right there. It was like,
whatever.
I mean, like, this dude's awesome. He beats people's butt. He doesn't have any powers. He's just really smart and a martial artist.
And he's freaking rich.
Yeah.
That dude is awesome. And then Superman is like, well, it's here. Just take everything. Like Preem said earlier in the chat, he's the ultimate Mary Sue.
Oh, wow. Whatever. Okay.
I will say
Wow.
this about Man of Steel though.
Mhm.
What they did from having Henry Cavill and the Snyder cut,
Yeah.
that made it 10 times better for me. Didn't care for Man of Steel that much.
Mhm.
Didn't care for the original Justice League. But once the Snyder cut came out, that actually blew me away. That was such a great movie, and I'm sad they didn't actually release that one in theaters.
Yeah.
That was
that was
no one was going to sit through 3.5 hours of slow mo.
No, I don't know if I.
So,
I think I watched
that was going to happen.
I watched that in 2 parts. I think there's no way. I could
Oh yeah,
No
that
way.
was
Yeah,
that was
100%.
even the 4K Blu-ray is 2 discs, so it's like you know there is literally no way to watch that from beginning to end
What?
without some type of stop or some type of
That's
break.
crazy.
It's also hilarious, and the one thing I completely dislike and took me out of the movie for a moment was that one girl simping over Aquaman.
Yo,
When they hit that
sniffing
moment
the
in the
sweater.
movie, you could even see Ben Affleck looking over like, "What are you doing?"
Yes. The
She
sniffing the
just
sweater.
singing and grabbing his. I'm like,
The sniffing
and they
the
just
sweater
hung
was
on
just
it so long. I'm like,
That was just
are
so
you guys
extra.
gonna cut away? Oh, this is getting awkward now.
Yeah,
So,
that was so extra. Sniffing the sweater was just way uncalled for. All right, guys. So happy birthday to Superman. You know, he's still the greatest. I mean,
Whatever.
honestly, in 5 years, I won't believe it. In 5 years, it'll be 90 years since it came out. So we'll see
That's
what
disgusting.
happens from there. And obviously, you know, yesterday, James
Batman.
Gunn, you know, showed that, you know, production is officially begun on Superman Legacy, the next the DCU Superman film. So
Henry
we'll see what he
Cavill
does
better
with
have
that.
a cameo or something.
What's that?
Henry Cavill better be like Perry White in that movie or something.
That actually would be funny.
They just basically misused that man. That dude was a great Superman, and
No, he was 100%.
Yeah,
No,
so
he 100% he
deserves
was.
better.
Looked like Superman.
He did.
He just fit the
Thank
part
you.
so well. It was
Thank
a
you.
perfect typecast.
exactly, and it's just like, we don't have anything good for him to do, so we're just gonna have him be Batman almost, and have him mope around and be brooding. I'm like,
Emo Superman was not what anybody came to see.
Nah.
I'm just saying. All
It's
right, guys.
unfortunate.
Moving on real quick to our next topic so we can get through and
We
get to
gotta
the
pay
spring
some
anime
bills.
stuff. So, the next thing I wanted to talk about is I don't know if you guys have been watching, but Star Trek Picard has been probably the best season of Star Trek in years. Like, Strange New Worlds, great show. Great show. Discovery has definitely had its moments. You know, maybe the last 2 seasons haven't been as great as maybe first and second season, but overall Star Trek is 100% back. And now that they're moving into a phase 2, Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh. Didn't think I'd be able to say that before this year, right?
Oh yeah.
Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh is now got her Section 31 movie. She's returning as Philippa Georgiou. She was 100% the best thing about Discovery.
Section 31.
Yes, Section 31, the clandestine, you know, Black Ops, super secret Starfleet force.
So they're gonna call it Star Trek Section 31.
Yes, that's literally it. Star Trek Section 31, starring
That sounds
Michelle Yeoh.
really cheesy.
No, but it's not. But believe me, believe me, it's not. But Philippa Georgiou is coming back, and you know I'm excited for that because, like I said, she was. If you haven't watched Star Trek Discovery, the first couple of seasons, she is must see TV. She steals every scene she is in. She is that good. She really is. She's really that good. But beyond that, they showed the trailer for Strange New Worlds season 2. That's coming on pretty soon. We know we're gonna get Lower Decks season. I think it's season 4? No, or is it season 3? I can't remember. But that's coming back. Prodigy is coming back. They announced that Starfleet Academy is coming pretty soon, and they said there's the producer Alex Kurtzman said he wants to do a new Star Trek movie, streaming movie, not in theaters, which is kind of disappointing, but streaming movie every other year. So
Where have we heard that before?
what?
That's a
It
bad
would
idea.
be interesting. So what do you guys have? You guys been watching Star Trek? Keeping up with Star Trek? What's the deal here?
I'll be honest. The only thing I know about Star Trek, I said it before the show, is the 2009 movie and Into the Darkness.
Yep, Chris
I know
Pine.
my grandma is huge into it. She used to work at Toys R Us years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Probably has like collectibles that are probably worth thousands of dollars.
Really?
In her basement. I'm not even getting the collection she has is insane. If she was on the show right now,
Mm-hmm.
she'd be having a grand time talking about all of this. But
Wow.
I just don't have anything to put on that one. I've never
Is
read
it more like just because he's saying eat the phone, by the way?
Oh, eat the phone.
Yeah,
No,
he's saying
I
eat the
gotta
phone.
eat it again. Sorry.
But you know, is it more or less because it's a generational thing? You just you never got into it, and you don't have the opportunity because it is on Paramount Plus, and I'm sure that makes it a little bit harder for newer fans to get into the show. Is that part of the reason that you haven't checked out the new stuff?
Honestly, I'm gonna say this: it's a little almost intimidating because of how much stuff there is for it.
Mhm.
I just kind of don't know if I was gonna start. I
Mhm.
don't know where I was gonna start. Like I said,
You're like a completionist. You want to start at the original?
yeah. Like if I'm gonna start at the beginning, kind of like One Piece. I would like to start it, but that show is 1,000 episodes. I'm like, I don't want to start that. I'm like,
Wow.
that's intimidating. I don't have time to watch that much stuff. So like, if I'm gonna start somewhere, I want to finish it all. I can't just start a season and be like, never mind. I don't want to watch anymore. No, I want to watch every single thing that they have.
Sharp.
Interesting.
I'm with you on that because my dad's a huge Star Trek fan. So kind of echoing what you said about your relative, it's like my dad would love to talk about Picard. He has been loving the season. And so I get word of everything that's happening. And I'm always like, what's happening in Star Trek right now? Because, you know, I've watched a decent amount of Next Generation just because that's kind of like the series that I grew up rewatching with the family. But outside of the movies, I've never sat down and was like, I should fully consume Star Trek. And I'm not sure how much I get out of it because it's really, it's kind of weird because you always see like, you know, you flip through YouTube, you see clips of old shows and people are like, oh, these are really good. And I feel like Next Generation is a really clip-worthy show. That we haven't like seen the Star Trek clip compilation yet. But
I'm sure they're out there on YouTube.
they
right?
are.
eventually,
Yes, they
I will
are.
probably relive Star Trek: The Next Generation just by scrolling through YouTube. But
Right.
Until then, yeah, I haven't consumed too much Star Trek.
Yeah. Well, no, honestly, Star Trek is in a really, really good spot. I would encourage anybody, if you haven't been checking it out, really get up on it. If you're a fan of Star Trek: The Next Generation, 100% watch Picard season 3. Like, I'm gonna go as far. I usually don't say this, right? Just skip first two seasons of Picard.
Wow.
Just skip the first two seasons.
I was-
Just go
you're
right to
asking
this.
I was gonna say
lot.
that's gonna be my question. Like, if I was going to start, where would you suggest for me to start? with
Okay,
all this?
for Star Trek, if you don't mind old stuff,
Oh, I love old stuff.
okay, if you like old stuff, go ahead and watch the original series. It's actually really good.
Okay.
Right? It definitely has aged a lot. Like, the effects are really bad.
Okay.
Right?
Watch it for the fact that it is that cheesy and campy.
Yes,
that's
do
part
watch
of
it
the
for
fun
that.
of Star Trek.
Do
I
watch it
think.
for that.
No,
Right?
it's all. I love cheesy things like
Yeah.
that. Once
Yeah.
you watch something like Fast and Furious movies, super cheesy, love them.
As much as I love the original, like Star Trek: The Motion Picture, it's a real slow burn. It's more of a
No. Star
you
Trek:
know,
The Motion Picture is you can skip that completely.
you could, yes.
Just start with Wrath of Khan. If you're going to talk about the movies,
Yeah, if you're gonna watch the
start with
movies, watch
start
the
with
Wrath of
second
Khan.
movie. Don't even
right?
watch the first movie.
Right? You could.
It's that bad.
Search for Spock wasn't bad. You know, if you like Christopher Lloyd, you could watch that too. You know,
Star
that's
Trek
perfect.
has the
Yeah.
even rule.
Yes, it does
Every
have the
single
even rule.
movie of Star Trek
Yep.
is a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Every single odd movie is it's take it or leave it.
Yeah.
You could skip it.
Yeah.
Essentially,
Yeah.
you could
like
skip it.
yeah, like
Except for
literally.
Star Trek 5. Star Trek 5 is
Oh, come on.
Star Trek 5 is meme worthy all through.
Oh, just for this. Excuse me. What does God need with a starship?
Hell
That's
yeah.
literally it. Like 100%. When Kirk asked that, I was like, yes, that it's a valid question.
Absolutely.
But no, I would start with the original series. There's 7 seasons for the Next Generation. Some people really love Deep Space Nine, but honestly, if you want to get a crash course in Star Trek, watch Lower Decks.
Lower Decks.
Lower Decks is freaking hilarious. If you like Rick and Morty,
Oh, I love Rick and Morty.
oh, watch Lower Decks.
There you go.
Watch Lower
Watch
Decks.
Lower
Gotcha.
Decks.
So
Like,
what-
you
so what's
watch
your
Lower
take
Decks,
on
you'd be
this?
like, okay, I want to watch more of this now. Because yeah, it's good. Watch Lower Decks. It's great.
Sam, what's
It
your
is
take
great.
on this? You've been over there a little bit quiet in the background. He's like, I don't watch Star Trek.
She doesn't.
Star Trek.
She doesn't.
I can do this.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, she can do the
okay.
Vulcan salute. There you
yeah,
go.
there you
Most
go.
people can't do that, so it's
Yeah,
not too
most
bad.
people-
You're off to
Yeah.
a decent start.
It's a show that my dad was really into, and I was talking about it with him earlier, and we did talk about the fact that all of these new Star Trek things coming out, because I know they made like a newer movie. I'm not up on the things, but
Mhm.
Sure.
it does give the newer generation a chance to experience Star Trek,
Yes.
especially if they don't know where to start. And I feel like they're doing that with a lot of things, like Star Wars as well. We talked about as well. Like they're just making old things new again, so that way our generation can experience them the way that older generations did. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Yep, that
So,
is
I don't
100%
know.
true.
I guess on Kenshiro's recommendation, I will get around to watching Star Trek Storage Wars, whatever that section 31 or whatever.
Storage Wars.
I got it.
I'm
though, at
sorry.
least.
all Star Trek movies have had catchy titles. Star Trek Section 31 sounds really dull.
Yeah,
It might be a great show. It might be a great cast and all that. The name does not draw me in.
I understand. I get that. If I'm to appreciate Philippa Georgiou, played by Michelle Yeoh, you'd have to watch Discovery, and I'm not necessarily going to say do that, even though the newer Star Trek shows have incredible
Just
production
give it
quality.
a better name, and I'll watch it.
Incredible
but if your movie
production
is called
quality.
Section 31.
I get it, but believe me, if you go on YouTube, just watch the best of Philippa Georgiou. And
again, I like Michelle Yeoh.
Yes.
I will give it a shot.
She is great.
It's
Michelle
just-
Yeoh is awesome.
She is
it's
great.
She's
just
awesome.
that again. I hope that's a working title. Just fix that, and then we're good.
Yeah, a bad title can ruin the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Even if the
No, I get
movie
that.
is
Absolutely.
a 10 out of 10, yeah,
Totally get that.
title can. Ooh.
right, no, I totally get that.
Yep.
All right, guys. Before we get to the main topic, we're gonna pause for about 45 seconds. We'll be right back.
Yeah. The entire Culture Junkies crew would like to thank you for tuning into our programming. We hope you are enjoying our content as much as we enjoy making it. One thing that helps us continue bringing you our unique content is viewer support. By visiting the Culture Junkies Patreon page, you will have the opportunity to select the support level that works best for you. Not only will your support help keep the Culture Junkie Nation growing, but you will make yourself eligible to receive patron-exclusive swag. Please take a moment to consider supporting us and join the ranks of the supporters you see listed on the screen. We would like to also give a special shout out to our Culture Junkies level and above patrons: DeMarcus Smith, Fab Nerd Life, Nanette, The Other Steve, and Black Crowned Knight. Remember, for as little as $1 a month, you can support a Culture Junkie. Thank you.
So 100%, I want to give a shout out to the chat, but before I do that, I know that was from Mario, but damn, that sounded just like a showcase showdown from Price is Right, man.
Hey.
It did.
Good
did.
sound.
That
Yeah,
really
no,
that
it
sounded
really
If
did.
that music wasn't
Clean.
copyrighted, I would have used it.
Yeah,
The
no,
music is awesome.
no, I get you. No, I totally get you. But the chat is not disappointed. Star Trek C-section,
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek C-section,
C-section.
Star Trek 2 Electric Boogaloo. Like, y'all, come on, y'all. That's great. All right, go. So we are here to talk about the spring anime season. So, as I alluded to, SheetStainz is really into anime. Sharpe, are you into anime?
I
A lot?
love anime.
All right, so
Big anime
So
guy.
these guys are going to help me. GQ doesn't watch a lot of anime
I
nowadays.
watch new anime.
Right. He doesn't watch a really lot of new anime. So we're gonna give you a primer of what to watch this season. Obviously, Demon Slayer came back. Let's get the low hanging fruit out of the way. You're gonna watch Demon Slayer. You probably might be able to skip the first 2 episodes if you went to the theaters to go see the Demon Slayer movie for the Swordsmith Village that came out a few months ago, because it literally is just that. Like what they showed in the movie is that's first 2 episodes. So you skip those. So
Wait. The movie was legitimately just 2 episodes put together?
yes.
And then the newest episode of this last season. Well, the season that's out right
Yeah.
now. It was the first episode of that.
And the
Yes.
old movies, the first 8 episodes of season 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, again,
Yeah.
I have no problem with that, I guess, because it does make it easier for you to just like, okay, I'm going to sit down, here's the thing, and then I'm done. So I don't have to,
Yeah.
like you said, trying to get into One Piece, watch 900 episodes. It's like that. I don't have time for that.
But why not create? I mean, Demon Slayer is so popular, they could cash in just by creating do the Dragon Ball treatment. Superhero was a mostly original story, right? Give us that. Like give us that. We got
Yes.
13 Dragon Ball movies that had nothing to do with the original anime at all. But One Piece read, or we've got how many Detective Conan movies that have nothing to do with the series, but Demon Slayer can't get that treatment?
No,
Like,
they
come
cannot.
on.
No.
Right?
Like, come on.
Anyway,
Anyway,
over there
I
saying
digress.
make time. I wish I could make time.
I digress.
I wish I
Low
could-
hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer is out. For the movie wise, if you guys didn't know, there's one final Sailor Moon movie that's coming out this year, Sailor Moon Cosmos. It's going to be on Netflix in June, I believe. So
I thought it was July. I could be wrong. On that one.
it's either June or July, one of the two.
those.
Yeah, June or July, one of the two. I think it's coming out. But that's going to wrap up the Sailor Moon story, and those movies, Sailor Moon Eternal and this, fantastic.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
have been great. They have been really good stuff.
Nick is a little bit crazy there. He's saying we need a live action Demon Slayer. It'll be as good as Dragon Ball
No.
Evolution.
Yo, Nick, man, lay off the sauce, man. lay off
no
the
live
sauce.
no more live action animes. No more. no more.
Yeah,
They could do it. They just need a director that actually watched whatever the particular show is, and then have an action director that's similar to the John Wick guys.
Yeah.
And then you get that kind of team together, and then people that actually really understand that there's certain things in anime that do not translate to live action and will never translate to live action.
Mhm.
It could be done. Because
So-
even with Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson, say what you want about the whitewashing or casting or whatever. That tank sequence,
Great.
was spot on.
Great.
Like, that was really good to
Yes.
to bring that from the anime to live action. That was really well done.
And, Alita Battle Angel. If you saw
Was
that,
very
one,
good.
it was
Yes, that was
amazing.
very
It was
Yeah.
very good. Very,
But
very, very
don't
good.
let Netflix get their hands on it.
No.
Well, and again,
Netflix-
I think that's part of the problem. Again, Netflix has put out some great stuff. Don't get me wrong.
Death Note,
But
One Piece, 1/8.
They are not a movie studio in the same sense as a Paramount, a Universal, a people that have been doing this for decades. Again, and Netflix is like, look, you can do movies, but there's a certain level that it's like,
Mhm.
leave that to the big boys.
So-
and that's the only way I can really say it.
Unpopular opinion. I thought Bleach on Netflix wasn't bad. Like, I actually kind of liked it. Death Note, no. Cowboy Bebop, I kind of was getting with. I kind of liked it, but I can acknowledge why people didn't
Mark
like it.
said he was down with the Bebop.
Yeah, no, live action Cowboy Bebop wasn't nearly as bad. I think people were just a little bit too harsh on it, but
This should have been Keanu Reeves. Go ahead, though.
No, I was gonna say I think the reason why is because Cowboy Bebop as anime was so good
oh yeah,
that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
problem. They had to match that production, and they just did not get
Yeah.
that at all. And I think that was the biggest problem with it because
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop's
no,
up there in the top.
and I get that. All right, so we got the easy stuff out of the way. What is some stuff that some people don't know about that they should be watching? So I'm going to let ladies go first. Sam, what do you got that people should be watching this anime season? Yes, it is your time to shine. your time to shine.
everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so I just started watching this anime yesterday. It is called Hell's Paradise.
Oh
And it is by
Yes.
Mappa Studios. So we're talking Attack on Titan. We're talking Jujutsu Kaisen, Mappa Studios, okay?
Yeah.
Mhm.
This show is so beautiful. The animation is so bright and crisp and it has these like dark outlines. It's so amazing.
So
Essentially, it starts with a man who cannot die. He's literally captured in a village, and the village head is attempting to assassinate his life, execute him over and over and over again. And he's just like, IDK, bro, can't die. Don't know why. Literally, he's like, and
Nice.
it ends with this girl who's like writing down his story and trying to understand why he can't die. And turns out that she is recruiting to send him to this like Hell's Paradise to find the elixir of life. And since he can't die and all the people who have been sent there to get the elixir have died, she's like, you go, you do the thing. And that's how the first episode ended. It's beautiful.
like
And it
honestly,
also ended, it's really good.
yeah, it's currently like I love using My Anime List. If you guys aren't on My Anime List, it's a great resource for anime fans. But currently listed at 8.45 for a score for Hell's Paradise. Really good. I forgot to mention that Dr. Stone is back as well for season 3. Forgot to mention that. So go ahead and check that out.
Wait, what's the name of that app?
My Anime List.
My Anime List.
Yeah, My Anime List. You guys should check it out. It's pretty good.
Creators of My Anime List, send a check.
100%. 100%. We're not opposed to some sponsorships too. By the way, SheetStainz, what are you gonna be checking out this season?
So I just started this actually last night. It's kind of a blend of Black Clover and honestly Harry Potter. It's called
Mashley.
Mashal. Yeah,
Mashal,
Mashal.
yeah.
That one.
Yes,
I've been enjoying that. It's been a little
Okay.
comedic, but it's been fun.
Yeah, I
like
watched the first episode of it. Actually, Dado Kuji was the one that turned me onto it. He said, "Watch this." He said, "It literally is like he compared it to being like One Punch Man and Harry Potter." So, what do you think?
Essentially, that's literally it.
Okay.
It's good. This kid, he just kind of lives by himself. Nobody knows about him. Apparently, you have to have a mark to be like everyone has magic except this kid.
Yeah, and they got like the Harry Potter mark or something like that. Something like that.
I have no clue, but like again, it's kind of like Black Clover. Asta, this kid, he has no magic powers, but he's just insanely strong.
Right.
Same exact concept with this guy, except he doesn't need a sword. He literally just uses his bare hands the entire time. So
The dude has literally no sense whatsoever.
No, not
He
at
has
all.
no sense whatsoever,
No.
no common sense at all. So, yeah, it's overly comedic. So if you're not really into that, you might want to avoid it. But if you kind of like hijinks and Harry Potter mixed with a little bit of overpowered characters, then Mashley might be your bag. Sharp, what do you got?
All right, you mind if I got two for you? If you
Go
don't
ahead.
mind. Okay, so
Please.
the first one is a really weird show I found. It's called Magical Destroyers, and it's a simulcast on Crunchyroll right now. And if you want a flashback to that kind of mid 2010s, like Kill la Kill, what is going on anime, this is for you. You're dropped in, no context, that Japan has banned free thinking, and otakus or nerds are all round up and put in jail. And
What?
Yes,
Hey, this
yes.
sounds like 1984.
Yeah, it's 1984
Right.
anime edition. And so the gun enthusiasts and the anime fans and the magical girl cosplayers team up to fight the government. And for some reason, they all have superpowers and real guns. The
Okay,
power
gives
of
you
friendship.
powers.
Yeah, the power of friendship and being a nerd allows these people to fight the evil government and reclaim and get their nerd brethren out of jail. But if you want something a more mature audience might appreciate, there's one called My Home Hero. And
Bro,
Oh, yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yes,
Is that good?
bro, yes.
Is it good? My Home Hero? How many
Yes.
episodes does it have?
detective thriller. This guy finds out his daughter is dating a Yakuza member, and they get in some dirty work. And to spoil just the first episode, because you kind of got to understand where it's going, is this guy meets the boyfriend of his daughter, and he finds out he's Yakuza, and the boyfriend was planning to kill the girlfriend. He's just like, I gotta do something, and he beats up the Yakuza guy, and then his goons find him, and now he's got to go on the run and figure out how to get away with killing this Yakuza guy. And it's a detective thriller. You're gonna love it. Very
Yeah.
mature show,
Yeah,
not a
if you-
shonen.
Yeah, if you like suspense, see, and that's what I love about these types of shows, because it's so easy for the masses to gravitate to stuff that you would see on Adult Swim, Toonami. It's mostly the shonen fare, and we were all there, right? We grew up, Dragon Ball. Started with Dragon Ball, started with Gundam, started with Yu Yu Hakusho, whatever, right? And some people, they really kind of get stuck in that, and they think that that's all what anime is, when really there's anime is almost like 31 flavors. There's literally something for everybody. You might not like Dragon Ball Z, but you might like Revolutionary Girl Utena or something like that, right?
Oh yeah.
You might really love, Cowboy Bebop, but you might not be into Yu Yu Hakusho, or Yu-Gi-Oh. There's literally something for everybody. So that's why, having this show was kind of super important to me, to basically scratch that itch of being an anime fan. One thing that I had that I was going to bring up, and these are all really good recommendations, by the way, especially My Home Hero. I was really stoked to check that one out. But if you guys didn't know, there is an anime called there's an anime called right here. There's I'm trying to get the American name, because I was going to say the Japanese name, but you guys probably wouldn't get it. Boku no Kokoro no Yabayatsu. So basically, this kid is an average middle schooler, but he's kind of really gloomy. But he has these fantasies of murdering people.
Oh my goodness.
He has these fantasies of just murdering
this is
people.
awesome.
Yeah,
That
but
sounds
he's
fun.
but he right. So he says, I'm going to read you the brief synopsis of the show, right? Kyotaro Ichikawa may look like your average middle school student, but in his heart, he dreams of murder. Thus, it is no surprise that the one he wants to kill the most is never far from his mind. The class idol, Anna Yamada.
Uh-oh.
Yes. So reading alone in his beloved school library, he inadvertently begins to rendezvous with Yamada, who comes to secretly gorge on her beloved candies and sweets. Through their interactions, Ichikawa discovers just how much of a ditz Yamada is and can't help but support her from the sidelines. Meanwhile, Yamada herself can't help but tease Ichikawa relentlessly due to his flustered reactions. It's kind of like a twisted love comedy type deal. I I kind of really like those things because Komi-san Can't Communicate. That's like one of the most endearing shows that you could have watched over the past couple of years. Like it's really, really good.
All
Really,
they had
really
to
good.
do was just set it in college, and that would have been fine.
What?
If they would have set it in college, I would have been fine with it.
Now, see,
Setting it
but
in
you know
middle
how
school
anime is, man.
I understand that, but setting it in middle school is just like, Brady's never going to actually kill her now.
Right. But
So
I
it's
mean,
like-
Unless.
Yeah, I don't know about.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
or Tokyo Revengers, they're all in high
Tokyo
school.
Revengers, I love that show.
Yeah, that
right?
show. Yeah, that show is
No,
all
I mean,
in middle
even
school
high
and
school, but
Yeah.
middle school is just like,
Right.
There's something to be said about that. We're like, at one point, like Tokyo Revengers is a good example too of like, at what point are they in high school just to relate to the audience? Because like
Mhm.
they could have all been adults just doing their thing, and it
Yeah.
would have made sense. But maybe they're looking for like an appeal to the kids. I'm not
Mhm.
sure what they trying to do.
and I think, and again, it's not. I've been watching anime for a long time. It's just a lot of the newer stuff I have not been watching. It's just A, time, B, in a lot of instances, lack of interest, and C,
Mhm.
very similar to what SheetStainz said. If there's a long list of episodes, I'm not going to jump in the middle of that. I don't know. No, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, so you don't miss storyline, but you can still like experience the anime.
Oh, you mean the
Like the filler
filler
list.
yeah,
Yeah.
skip all the
Yeah.
fillers? Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
even for me,
Helps
that's
a little.
that's still a turn off though, because like I don't want to go through
Mhm.
search through a website and be like, oh, I'll watch this One Piece episode. I'll watch this One Piece episode. I
Yeah.
just keep it to
Right.
12 to 24 episodes a season. I think that's a perfect number.
Absolutely.
In my opinion, I can't do anything more than I would say 24 episodes a season because at that point I get lost. It gets hard for me, and yeah, I just don't.
So
have time.
so what you're describing, right, is the number one reason why I checked out of Naruto. Shippuden
yes.
for
Yes.
forever. Like
Yes.
the whole back half of Naruto, I just completely skipped it. There's entire seasons of Shippuden I completely skipped. And when Boruto started on that bullshit, I was like, no, I'm done. I'm not watching this show.
Yeah, and I think it does a disservice to even the storytelling because it's like again, yes, there's plenty of filler episodes for certain things, but like let's take Dragon Ball as an example. Now, Dragon Ball isn't really that long.
Mhm.
It's even Z and all that. You're looking at about what 400 total episodes for across all of the different shows, maybe
For Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
all of them, including
Super probably did push it closer
Yeah.
to 400. Yeah.
Yeah, so like let's just call it what it is. But if you would have had those sites back when we were watching Dragon Ball, when we were catching up fan subs and all that crazy stuff, they would have told you to skip that driving episode. And I could
Bro.
not miss
Yes.
Yes.
that
Yes.
driving
That
episode was
episode's so
great.
good.
So it's like I don't like the idea of you should skip this. It's like no, if it's a good story and if it's told well and if it's paced right,
Mhm.
I should be able to watch the entire series and enjoy it. That's
Yes.
just kind of how I look at it. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that's kind of my issue with sometimes they're just long for the sake of being long.
yes,
Like SheetStainz said, man, dude, just keep it to 12 to 13 to maybe 24 in a season. I can do that. But if you start getting into these, super duper long, like 50 episode seasons, I'm like, no.
no.
You better
So-
be telling me the most interesting story of all time. So that's just kind of how I look at it.
Mhm.
It's the third great ninja war. I think that's in Shippuden, right? It's the third one. It's the third ninja war that they have, or is it?
Yes.
I think that whole war is 2 days long, and they probably have over 100 episodes just on that war. If I'm correct? Yeah.
That's the Namek's going to blow up in 5 minutes
Yes.
treatment.
Oh,
yes.
Yes. It's like I stopped watching there because I was like, I don't have time to do this. I just
Mhm.
wish, hey, 50 episodes long, I could do that with that war. But at some point, I was like, I can't watch this. I just stopped all completely watching
Yeah.
it.
No, I get it.
Great show. Love it. Couldn't watch it anymore, though. I just lost interest in the whole thing.
Go ahead, Sharp.
That is a perk of modern animes, though. So if you do get a time to watch some more newer stuff, what I really like about newer anime is it's very dense, right? Like, go back and watch Death Note if you haven't watched it in a while. You'll be sitting there like, this is taking forever, you know? It's like, it's not even that long. I believe it's only, 2 seasons? Maybe 3?
For what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Death Note. Yeah.
For Death Note, yeah.
Even though it's only a couple seasons, you're sitting there and you just kind of want to get it over with because there's a lot that's not going on. But go watch a 2-season anime that came out in the last couple of years. You don't have to miss a single episode. Every single episode counts for something.
Mm-hmm.
That is
again, like I said, I prefer that. I mean, even I think it was Thora Nova brought up unpopular opinion. I like filler episodes because characters' personality development.
so.
Again,
No.
it depends on the show.
It does
Yeah.
depend on the show. Like, okay, like I guess for some Naruto fans, that people that like absolutely eat up Naruto, right? They want to know about every single character. Like, so I remember the infamous filler episodes where Tenten finally got some development, right? Like Tenten had always been in the background, right? You know, this cute, you know, Afro puff, you know, the buns, you know, Chinese girl never gets any story development, right? Like, and we know, you know, Narusawa is like terrible at that. Like terrible.
It's horrible.
Right? He's
horrible.
He's terrible at it, right? So for girls in general, like this 100%, I hate Sakura. Like Sakura is like one of the most useless characters ever. Like 100%.
Sam does not like that.
I hate her.
Sam does not like that.
Hate her.
Uh-oh.
Hate her.
You
Hate
struck
her.
a chord. Struck a
Hate
corridor.
her. Hate her. And it's not because I hate her because of the way she was developed. Like 100%. Like after she pulled that bullshit on Naruto, I was done with her. Like when she was like, "Oh Naruto, I love you," you know, and I was like, bitch, please, like get out of here. Like, I know what you're pulling. Anyway, so, the number 1 rated show for this season right now is a weird one, right? And maybe Sam, maybe you're watching this. I don't know. It's called Oshinoko. And it's about a music idol, a pop idol in Japan who suddenly finds herself pregnant, and she goes to a gynecologist. Yeah,
this is very interesting. You said this is number 1 rated?
Yes, number 1 rated. Like
literally,
from my anime list, it is rated 9.23. Like it is the highest rated show for this season. I don't understand why, but everybody seemingly is watching it.
I've seen a little bit of this.
Yes,
yeah.
So everybody's watching this show, right? She finds that she's pregnant. She goes to a gynecologist in the countryside.
Because okay, go ahead.
Well, yeah. So
Go
that's
ahead.
probably so they don't recognize her and she doesn't ruin her fame, right? So the gynecologist promises her a safe delivery.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up dying.
Damn.
In the middle of the delivery?
No, at some point before she goes even to get pregnant, he ends up dying.
Okay.
He opens his eyes. He finds out he's her son. He's reincarnated as her son.
Yeah, that's some super.
I
Again,
don't understand.
You
It
are
could probably
sure
be
this is
very
the number 1
interesting.
rated anime?
Rank number 1.
You know what?
Rank
Again,
number 1. Like I don't get it. I don't understand.
Okay, here's the thing. The premise is insane. It is pure anime trope craziness. It probably is actually interesting, though. It probably would be a very interesting tale to tell.
So it's one of those animes where the way they get to where they are in the meat and potatoes of the story happens because of like something absurd. It's almost like the manga writer was like, yeah, I don't know how to get this started, but I know what's going to happen in the middle.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Right.
Overlord's kind of like that too, where like the whole, it's in a video game thing doesn't really matter once you get into it.
Okay.
And this story's kind of like that, but it's fun to tell your friends the start of it, and then they'll get hooked on it. So it's the clickbait, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's fair. Hand of Omega saying how did reincarnation become such a big thing in anime? How about reincarnation being a very big thing in Japan?
That is
Yes,
true.
that is
Come
true.
on now.
Isekai and reincarnation are the two biggest things. Show quick notes before we break to the Power
Make it
Resource,
very
right?
quick.
The Ancient Magus's Bride season 2 is out as well this season. So that's also something to keep your eye on. An excellent show if you haven't seen it before. And Konosuba is back as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Konosuba is back as well.
So is Gundam.
Yes, the Witch from Mercury, Gundam Witch from Mercury is also
Best
back.
starter Gundam ever.
Honestly, okay.
You
think that one is the best starter Gundam? Why?
Because if you're a Zoomer, if you've just been born in this world and you hear all your old folk talking about Gundam, you need that gateway drug, and it's got enough of that teen school drama.
That's the gateway for you, though?
Right, because you're like, I just want a nice little drama about girls in high school, but then boom, mechs and killing people. It's the perfect gateway drug.
I mean, I
That's a
guess,
clip.
but I still feel like Gundam Seed was better for that.
No, but here's the thing. From what he's saying, and he's 100% right. Gundam is what, 30 plus years old?
Oh yeah.
So
40,
like
40.
you're running into that Superman thing where it's just like, okay, you got all these young cats that are just come around. They're not going to want to watch the old stuff because it's kind of old and dated.
And it's a new timeline.
There you go. Boom.
The,
So he's
the
100%
Gundams
right on
get
that.
just invented a couple episodes into The Witch from Mercury. So you don't know what a Gundam is? Neither did they.
Yeah.
No, okay.
That's a
fair.
great way to
No,
look at that, man.
That's 100% fair. No, I get that. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed all the recommendations. We look forward to seeing you guys talk about them on the show at a future date. But right now, the power is yours.
Well, I'll do it.
Thank you. All right, so
There's two of me again.
there's two of Sam, like double Sam.
Well,
Sam,
can't get enough of a
you
good thing.
are supposedly going to be streaming in a little while too, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Are we continuing Final Fantasy 13? Or
Final Fantasy 13 is our Mondays.
it's our Monday. Okay, so cool.
Mondays.
So I can come back to that stream and we can chat more because honestly, Sam and I kind of bonded on Monday a little bit over
We
Final
did.
Fantasy 13 and Lightning. Like I love Lightning, she loves Lightning.
Yes.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. Anyway.
Queen.
Oh, that's so cute.
Right, 100%. So, yes,
so
the
cute.
Mandalorian season finale 100% happened today.
Can't talk about that yet.
We cannot
You
talk.
must be Mrs. Calf
Yes, we cannot talk about that because I was so busy I didn't get to see it. SheetStainz woke up early to make sure he saw
I
it.
watched it as well.
I did.
Right.
Oh.
GQ, you've got more time in your hands than I do. Sorry. So
Hey.
yeah, I know. I hear you. You make time for things that are important to you. Why? I
No,
have stuff
it's
to
not,
do.
it's not even about making time.
Mhm.
Just when you work for yourself, you can make as much time as you want.
So Hand of Omega is asking in the chat, who is GFG?
It's that guy.
It's that guy in the chat.
Grand
That
final-
guy.
That guy in the chat, but
Grand
we got
Finals
two of
Gaming.
the members of GFG in the chat. So since Garrett is out there, you're in here. Relay who and what is Grand Finals
Here,
game?
Sharp, do you want to handle this or do you want me to handle it?
Sure.
I mean, he is the mouthpiece on social, so
That
let
is
him.
true, yeah, I'll let him handle it.
So Grand Finals Gaming is a tournament organizer group in Michigan. We organize fighting game tournaments. We go to conventions to set up video games. We spread the love of gaming all over the country if you want us to. And our current project is a tournament circuit we're doing in Michigan for a couple fighting games. And we've been going around hosting events at some new locations and meeting new people. And Eladio, you want to say anything on that?
All I know is if you're not from Michigan, we're doing a thing called Really Cool Comic-Con in August.
True.
I don't know. Is the amount of money out or no? Or is that still? I'll say this. I don't know if it's out yet.
It's
the
gonna be
prize
good.
pool is big.
Yeah.
If you are really good at a certain game,
Actually,
come out here.
good point. Producer, if you wouldn't mind, would you throw on the slides so we can kind of like show those off because we're
Tekken 7
kind of
well, Tekken 8 will be out by that time.
All we're gonna say is
there's
gonna
a guest
lose,
share screen.
Lose at
Go to
Evo.
that one.
So like, why lose at
Let me
Evo when
see.
you can win in Detroit? You know.
That is
There you go.
very true.
Hold on. So you know for a fact Tekken 8 will be out by August.
Yeah, we're hoping.
We're
I think.
hoping.
We're
Oh, okay. I was
hoping.
about to say, I'm like, because I haven't heard anything
Street
about
Fighter
it yet.
6 is the one
Yeah,
that's
Street
out
Fighter 6
for
is
sure.
Yeah,
for
Street Fighter 6 is that's June
But we're
2nd or
hoping-
June 6th.
Yeah, no,
or
I'm gonna
something
put the
like that.
slides back on. We just need to get to the right scene over there in OBS.
Oh, there's no sound during
Yeah,
the
there was no
slides,
sign of
so-
that. Hold on.
Well, you definitely can't do
I
that.
don't know what I even said now.
Well, all right. So again, what I hope Tekken 8 is out by then because I'm
I'll
tired
hope
of waiting for a date on that one. They're just like, let's run some trailers. I'm like, you guys, give us at least a month of when we can expect this damn thing.
Flint.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
So,
it is gonna be in Flint.
so we got a picture here of SheetStainz literally just conked out.
Yes.
Like what's going on here?
So I woke up early that day, go to work 7 to 3, good old morning shift, and I went immediately out to what is that mall called again? I can't remember the mall.
Laurel Park Place.
Oh, Laurel Park Place, yeah, yeah.
I went there, and we were probably there till 12, and I'm a guy. I need my sleep. I crash out real easily. If I don't have anything, like I had to bring an energy drink with me today because I got off work and I was like, I don't know. I hope I can stay awake.
Oh, if I can
which
do
I'm
it.
doing good right now. But give me some time to rest. 5 minutes, I'll be conked out anywhere. If I have somewhere to just lower my.
So you
back
have
a little
narcolepsy in a way.
bit. In a way.
In a way.
Choosing
Wow.
He's
narcolepsy.
planning it. He's like, I got a
Yes.
chance. Narcoleptics,
Yes.
they can't choose.
Oh, I
SheetStainz-
choose it.
SheetStainz, he strategically makes sure he gets the most naps.
Andrew said, "Oh, I got the rest of this tournament. I can handle this." I found a chair that could recline, and I took my opportunity, and I conked out for a good hour.
There you go.
He
All
was
right, so this is at Breakers,
Takers.
or Takers.
Takers.
excuse me.
Takers is a very, very
Right.
nice venue.
Yeah, so yeah, it is a
Yeah,
dope
that's-
venue.
yeah, that's
like
inside,
Breakers is a
Laurel
dope
Park Place.
venue. I've actually reached out to some of the organizers at Takers, maybe see if they can get on the show because we love supporting local gaming community, and networking is always a good thing to do. So this is more pictures over at Takers.
Oh, hold on. Other Steve said I thought we were getting a story about the name.
We are going
Oh,
to get
yeah.
a story about the name. You're right. But I want to run through these promo slides. This is the new spot
No,
they
it's
were
power
at
to the people.
this
People-
Sunday.
The people want to know about the name.
No,
So you
they do. So this is
let
what,
people
Play
know.
Labs?
Yes, this
Right?
was
Yes,
at
Play
Play Labs. This is in Farmington Hills. It's the Hawk Community Center. So it's their rec center. They've got gym, pool, you name it. But then at the top floor, they've also got what they've turned into an esports arcade. And the local
Nice.
teams from the high schools come to compete. And now the local folks from wherever come to play fighting games there. So that's pretty cool.
No, that is pretty dope. All right, SheetStainz. So what the hell is up with the name? Like, where did the name SheetStainz come from? Because I have to admit that it doesn't roll off the tongue and kind of like, what's the deal?
Rolls right off
So
the
this
tongue.
is going to be kind of a scumbag story here. I'm not going to lie.
I'd imagine so.
It's a very scumbag story. So I used to play with a buddy years ago, probably when I first got my Xbox 360 and I got Xbox Live. I had this friend.
You shit the bed?
No, actually, no. Like I said, it's more of a scumbag story. So maybe a year later after us becoming friends, he goes, man, I think I kind of want to change my username. And he said SheetStainz. And at the time,
What?
at the time, I was like, that's a horrible name. Don't do that name. I was young. I was like 13. And then, because my username at the time was Acidic Chain. Horrible name. Call of Duty Clans time. When
Okay,
you
right.
pay your $10
Yeah.
to change it. Horrible
Yeah.
mistake. Wish I never did that. So I convinced him not to do that. I was like, no, that's stupid. Years go by, I want to change my name. I'm like, I hate having Acidic Chain. It's an embarrassing story to be like, yeah, I got this from a Call of Duty Ghost Clan when I was 13 years old, and I paid $10 for it, and they kicked me out the next week.
Oh my
Because I was
god.
probably horrible. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to take SheetStainz. So I took SheetStainz. I told this friend to not do it, and I completely stole it from him. The next day, I get a party invite from him. He goes, where'd you get that name from, buddy? And
Nice.
it is, like I said, a true scumbag story. So I don't know where he got the idea from SheetStainz, but I just completely told him not to do it, and I ripped it from him. I kind of Mark Zuckerberged them on that one for Facebook.
Wow.
So
Oh my god.
100% that's going up on our socials. Like, look up for that. Like, whole origin of the story for the name SheetStainz.
Oh.
That's 100% going up. But I wanted to show off. You guys are promoting some tournaments coming up, but I'll get to that. Later. We'll go over a little bit extra. Give a little bit more time to answer a few questions in the chat, because I saw earlier that Nick was asking us about. He had asked, what do we think of? Shoot, I missed it. He had asked, what are your thoughts on anime adaptations of video game properties? Is there one you'd like to see developed soon? So obviously Tekken Bloodline is the most recent one that just came out, right? I thought that was really good. Really well done. If there's one outside of Tekken, man, I don't know. I mean, Blast Blue, I think I heard got an anime,
Yes.
but I
Yeah.
don't remember it. I've never seen it. I don't remember
Oh,
ever seeing
isn't
it. Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing it.
It's like from 2013.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, I don't remember ever seeing it. So, as far as fighting games getting an anime adaptation, I mean, outside of Tekken, which one has? Okay, Street Fighter has had plenty of anime.
Yes.
Granted,
And live action.
Fatal Fury.
and live action. Fatal Fury has also had some. That we've had 3D animated King of Fighters, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so bad. But what fighting games could even has the lore that could support that?
Definitely.
I don't know.
He's a little
Soul
foreshadowing.
Calibur. I have no idea. I don't play fighting games, but Soul
Actually-
Calibur's good.
Actually,
Wait,
Do they have a movie?
no, they
Or a
don't.
show?
They don't.
They have
They
something,
don't,
they?
but
Seems like it would.
yeah, I mean,
They have
Right?
they have plenty of tropey stuff that they can use out of Soul Calibur for sure.
Taki, Ivy,
Yeah.
you know.
No, trust me. They got fan service. They got
Oh, they do.
You know, they got the big
True.
crazy oversized sword. They have every trope an anime is in Soul
Mhm.
Calibur.
Yes.
So
No, they could. No, 100%.
wait, Sharp, what were you about to say?
Oh, I was gonna say, I think, and this might be foreshadowing of an upcoming event. I think Vampire Savior. They have a ton of comics. They could easily turn that into an anime.
So there
They
was a
did.
Darkstalkers anime a long
yeah,
time
there were
ago.
yeah, it was.
Oh,
It
it was,
actually
it
was
a-
pretty good.
It was like a 4-episode OVA.
Yeah, it
series
was
set.
4-episode OVA.
Yeah.
We were super excited when it first came out
Oh,
because
no, it was actually decent. It was
Darkstalkers.
actually decent because it followed
Yes.
the story, beat for beat for the most part. But again, it was early 2000s anime,
Yeah.
so like the quality was iffy.
Nick
You know.
Nick had mentioned that he stumbled upon the Samurai Showdown anime. Oh my man!
Oh, I feel sorry. I feel sorry
I'm
for you,
so
sir.
sorry for you. I'm so sorry that you stumbled upon that. But be thankful that you weren't here when we did Super Nerd Plus's party and we watched Art of Fighting.
Yeah.
Oh
Art
my
of- Art of
god,
Fighting
how
was
bad
terrible.
was that?
Actually, not even just the Samurai Showdown anime, but they also had a Battle Arena Toshinden anime
They sure did.
that was
I kind of scrubbed that
all
from my brain. I wanted
sorts
to
of
forget it.
bad. So,
Yeah, I wanted to forget it. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that could to answer your question. I honestly don't know which one deserves to get one. That's coming up next, but Virtual Fighter needs something
No, it
other than
doesn't.
that TV
No, it doesn't.
show
No, it doesn't.
because that was bad. That was really bad.
First of all, Virtual Fighter, again, it might be a great technical fighter.
It is.
It is the most dull game in the world when it comes to trying to tell a story about that game.
Oh, but see, it doesn't have a lore because they didn't pay attention to it. They just need to put one in it. So maybe the anime could be that one to bridge that gap.
No.
You say no, like it's impossible.
They can. They could.
Yeah, they
It-
100%
this
could.
is just so
Okay,
dull.
okay,
They just need to
let's-
revamp and do something
Yeah,
different.
Let's
That's
look.
the whole point.
Let's look at the characters in Virtual Fighter.
Kage.
Outside of maybe Lao Chan and Kage,
Kage, right?
those are the only
Jackie.
two people I can see being interesting characters. Everybody else is so generic.
Well,
man.
Sarah was, the lore says Sarah kind of got brainwashed by the corporate.
Oh, it sounds like Nina Williams to me.
in a way,
sounds very very
in a way,
borrowed, even though she came first.
right? Kind of in a way. Like literally, what if they finally give us Virtual Fighter 6 and they completely revamp it all
They won't.
and do
Sega doesn't know.
stop pissing in my Cheerios,
Sega
man.
doesn't know. Sega don't even know how to make fighting games anymore.
Stop pissing in my Cheerios. Like I let a
I'm
man
just being
dream,
real.
please.
I'm just being real. Sega forgets their IPs faster than bad fathers forget their children. I don't know. Like,
Def Jam with the actual rappers.
Jesus,
Sega is
I
terrible.
would love to see that.
Jesus, dude.
Oh, a new Def Jam would be great.
Yes, a new Def Jam would be
Def
great.
Jam would be
We-
awesome.
we talked about this before.
They could get a
100%.
lot of the old people
We
from the
had
other one because
dudes-
there's no new rappers that can be really convincing.
We did a Def Jam tournament one time, and I think it was Minnesota.
Yes,
They
Garrett
came from-
regaled us with that story.
Yes, they came from Minnesota, I do believe, or Minnesota. Or
I think it said
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Mhm.
Those guys were insane at the game. They're like, "You want to play?" I didn't know who they were at the time, and I'm bad at fighting games, and I didn't know how to play, and they just absolutely destroyed me. It was very
So
humbling.
Nick says, Marcus A64 said Killer Instinct as an anime.
They have one, or should?
No, it should make one.
I
maybe.
don't follow that. So
Killer Instinct doesn't really have much of a story either. Ultra Tech, they got to change that name because that was the Ultra 64 tie-in. Yeah, there's not really much story in Killer Instinct.
Well, here's one for you, GQ. Hannah Mega says Dead or Alive. Should get one.
Dead or Alive doesn't have a story either.
I know it doesn't.
It kind of
It has
does.
plenty of fan service though.
It's got lots of fan
service.
service.
yeah.
Plenty of fan
This
service,
vacation,
though.
the
Lots
anime.
of nice ladies.
Yeah, plenty of fan service. And
but
Ryu
like-
Hayabusa could be,
Okay, here's the thing. Ninja Gaiden by itself, great. Would be
Oh, yeah.
perfect as an anime. Just that particular subsection of the
Well,
Dead or Alive
yeah.
universe, that would be great.
So
Dead or Alive as a game and as a story is
non-existent.
Kasumi's getting cloned. Okay, great. What about all these other people that are here?
Right. What's their story? What's their relation to Kasumi?
Yeah, that's
right?
kind of Dead or Alive story in a nutshell.
I think something that we kind of overlooked is, the Def Jam anime. A lot of kind of modern hip hop artists like anime.
Actually,
absolutely.
that
Like,
would
that
be
would be
really
good.
dope.
That's true.
If you got a
Absolutely.
new Def Jam, but then it had like a new roster of modern artists, they all love anime. Getting a
Yeah.
bunch of hip hop
That
artists
actually
to do
would
anime
be really dope.
That would be
really
dope.
That'd be cool.
That
All right,
would be
well,
dope.
I'm not up on a lot of the modern hip hop artists. Who you guys?
Oh, I'm not
picking?
either.
Like
but
Lil Uzi Vert has a ton of just references to anime.
Sure. Yeah.
You could do Lil Nas X. I think he likes anime a lot. Shoot, I
But
can literally see
good
this
luck
dude.
getting them signed to Def Jam
Oh,
and
yeah,
putting them
good luck,
on the
yeah.
Def Jam label.
But they would never will though.
no,
yeah,
they won't.
yeah,
no,
that's-
no,
that's-
no,
that's
one
kinda
of
It'd
them
be
they
so
would.
cool to
Right.
have like a new generation of rappers in that game.
Oh, we got a redeemed message. Tattoo Assassins anime.
I've
That
never
would-
heard of that.
Tattoo
You-
Assassins is a very old, very
Yes, I've played it
bad
once and it
fighting
is
game.
horrible.
Very
Yeah,
bad.
It is
it
horrible.
is.
Oh, no.
Very bad.
Next time Garrett brings his little
Very
sticker that has
bad.
all the with the
Oh,
pie
we'll
on
play.
it.
We'll
Very, very bad.
Ask him to play Tattoo Assassins. It is the worst thing I think I've ever played in my
Actually,
life.
Tattoo Assassins
Oh, no.
made when we did our worst fighting game show. Tattoo Assassins was on the list.
Yes.
It had to be number one.
Yes.
It was
Was it number
bad.
one?
It was in it. No, it was not number one, but it definitely was in the list.
Okay, it had
That
to be.
Masters Terrace Kasai was on them.
Yeah, Masters
So-
Terrace Kasai was very high on the list.
Very high on the list. Very, very high. Very, very high. All right, we got any more questions out there for the people directing the chat
Marcus
before we?
64, I do not want to play a game full of mumble rappers.
I
And I
mean,
agree wholeheartedly.
he's got a point.
Yeah, you do have a point
He's
Redeemed
got a
Masters
point.
Terrace
100%.
Kasai anime. Absolutely not.
Hannah Mega says, "What are the current most? What are the current most and least favorite fighting games at the tournament?" So, go ahead, guys. What is the current most
Appreciate
Most-
the bits there, Taki.
most favorite? I think you meant to say let's
Most popular.
let's play English teacher now. Proper grammar.
I'll get my
right?
dad on the show. I'll get my dad.
Yes.
Right? Proper grammar is like what are the most popular and least popular games at the tournaments now?
Oh, most popular Tekken, easily.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tekken every
and
single
Guilty
time.
Gear Strive though.
Guilty Gear and Tekken are probably the most two popular.
1 and 2?
right now.
Like,
1 and
okay.
2,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
And then if we're going straight to least, it's honestly been surprisingly Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball Z fighter game. That's
Oh, fighters drop
kinda-
that hard?
Yeah,
Everyone's
Wow.
waiting for rollback, and they've picked
yeah,
up other
and they
stuff.
haven't. Well, our last
Interesting.
monthly we did, we only had 5 people sign up for the entire thing.
Wow.
For in the past, like if we've gone back last year,
Mhm.
we had over 20 people playing that game.
Well,
Every
even when we
Dang.
went to Yomicon a couple years ago, that was like one of the main tournaments.
Yeah,
there.
it's
So, I mean,
it's
that's
really
crazy.
tied down that game,
Wow.
which is surprising. Like I said, even go back a year ago, we had 20 people showing up to Replay Cafe and playing it.
Mhm.
With this last one, I think we had a total of 5 people, and which
Wow.
was really disappointing. It is a long game. I will
Mhm.
say that those matches take a while.
They
But
do.
it's fun to watch though.
Oh, no, absolutely.
It is.
But didn't the meta get to a point where it's very similar to Marvel too, where it's like if you don't pick this particular team, you're probably
Yes,
not
you're
going to
not
win.
wrong. There's Lab Coat,
This guy.
Android 19, I think that's what it is. Like if you don't pick her, Goku with the why can I think of Goku with the silver hair? What is that? Ultra Instinct.
Ultra Instinct,
Goku.
yeah.
Ultra
And then,
Instinct. Yeah. So it's literally like maybe like 5 people that you're going to see in every
Yes.
single match, no matter what. So yeah, and
Beerus is
again,
one of
I can
them.
see how that would become. Okay, I don't really want to watch this.
yeah,
or,
that's
you know.
the problem. It's every single time. It's this. You see the
Same characters
3
all the
to
time.
5 characters every single time.
Yeah.
They'll switch it up. Sometimes we had this one dude who was really good, and I think he just I think one of the matches he literally used the worst characters just to basically show how much better than he was than the average person.
So
that
he's
was
like
playing it.
using like Yamcha, Krillin, and Tien or something
yeah,
like that.
he was
Yeah,
playing
really.
playing
and,
the
Puzzle Fighter.
worst characters you could pick in the game,
Nice.
and he was just still winning every single time. It was
Damn,
like, yeah,
respect.
yeah, that was
Got to
respect.
respect that.
again, there comes a point where yes, the character does a lot of work for you and a lot of the heavy lifting, but if you're just good,
You're
you
good.
can grab anybody and still win. I mean, that's there's always going to be characters that's harder to win with, but hey, I'd rather watch that than the same 6 people going back and forth for the same 3 characters or whatever. So
I think Marvel vs. Capcom 2 had that same problem.
oh no,
towards-
that's
towards
kind
the
of where
end,
it
right?
started.
Cable, you just use Cable every time.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
His super is just
Magneto, Cable, Sentinel, Storm,
Mhm.
and I think there was one other character that was always like you
Get
guaranteed
to all
to see
4 corners
one
of
of
the
them
screen.
if anytime people were playing.
Yeah.
I feel like our chat is going off right now.
Well, in a way, so I need to ask this, and I guess I can close out the Power is Yours with this one highlighted message. Takeem, who is in Texas, I mean, not Texas, Vegas right now, says, what does everyone think of Man of Steel? Love from Vegas Junkies.
All right.
So,
I mean, if you want to start off, you'll be on the positive note for this one. I will not
I am not allowed to answer because my feelings have been made known.
Yeah, you're
Numerous
the
times.
president of a Superman fan club.
So I'm like one of the only, probably the only member of the Superman fan club. Okay, excuse me, the
shame.
producer back there, as Simon says, is also a member of the Superman fan club. But
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to answer.
Mhm.
The question is for the rest of you. Well, he's excluded too because he's also let his feelings be known numerous times. What do you say? What do you say? Sharpe and SheetStainz and Sam Taro. Well,
No, not me.
not Sam either because she
Okay.
has she says she hasn't seen Man of Steel. So
Okay.
Keep it that way.
So SheetStainz and I have to square off here, and
yes,
that's okay. It's a really easy fight
Showdown.
because I don't remember what happened. I assume it was a fun movie.
you don't remember what happened.
That's the thing. It didn't invoke
was
any.
so
It didn't invoke any
impressionable
strong feelings.
that-
Like I didn't. It wasn't bad. I
look so
remember being
disappointed.
a fun movie where Superman does his thing and can't be killed unless it's kryptonite or something.
Mhm.
And then I believe his dad sacrifices himself, and that was like a really interesting part of the movie because
Mhm.
He's Superman and might be able to do something. I think that's the only like genuine thing that confused me. Other than that, it's a normal movie about Superman. It wasn't like the huge blockbusters we've seen.
You totally making this up, right? Because at no point does his dad sacrifice himself.
Yeah, he
Does it?
does.
Doesn't
I
he
mean,
like
well,
get
okay,
sucked into a
does.
tornado?
Okay.
and, like-
Oh, you're talking about that part. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought you were
Yeah.
talking about like towards the end of the movie. Okay.
No,
all right.
no, he
no,
gets like
I-
sucked
I-
into a tornado for some reason to like help give Superman like
To
motivation.
keep his
So-
secret
Yes.
from everybody.
Yeah.
That was why he
Most-
did
the
it.
most ridiculous
Absolutely.
reason ever.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
love
it's
this movie
horrible.
though.
No, there was many. I said it wasn't as bad,
Mm-hmm.
but there were still things I had problems with. That was number one with a bullet.
Oh yeah.
Pac-
Yeah, I got a little message from Bruce Wayne for you.
Took me
Can
weeks
I
to
pu-
get tickets for this show. It's Schway. It's Schwarbage.
I must pause all of you guys for a moment because I actually have to run away to my stream now.
All right,
Yeah,
get your
because
stream ready.
I'm late. I'm late for it.
All right, get
You're
your
all
see,
good.
Okay,
we helped you
by
over time.
Sam,
So
we'll be sending
It's
everybody
nice
your
seeing you.
way
you guys
once
talk
we are
about
done
enjoying-
here
where are you
in a few
playing?
minutes.
See,
We're doing a Pokemon Nuzlocke Soul Link.
Oh, yeah.
So Pokemon
Okay.
Extreme.
okay.
Let's go.
All right, so it's gonna be Pokemon jumping all over the place.
Oh, everybody that joins the chat, make sure you spam the hydrate
No,
redeem.
no,
Spam the
don't talk
hydrate.
words.
I don't know what that
no.
is.
Spam the
We're
hydrate
not
redeem.
doing that again.
Yes,
All right.
I
yes,
was
we
up
are.
all night.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye.
Spam the
Yeah.
hydrate redeem when you get over to Sam.
Oh.
Channel.
All right.
See you, Sam.
Bye.
All right, so Sam Tyro's going over to get Pokemon dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria going.
All right, so,
So I'm neutral on the movie, but SheetStainz,
Yeah.
I'm a hater.
the stage is
I am a
good.
hater.
I'm a hater.
of the
I'm a
movie.
hater.
Yeah, I think realistically, and again, I've said this many times. I'll say it one more time, at least for now. That whole sequence that you're talking about with his dad saying, go ahead, stay over there. The tornado is going to take me, and you can keep your secret. Is the stupidest, dumbest
Dumbest
thing.
Yes.
If you know anything
ever.
about Superman, the whole point of Superman is he has all of these powers, and his dad dies from a heart attack, which is something his powers can't stop. Him standing in a tornado, dude, you're still Superman. You can get over there and back before anybody blinks. So it completely loses the essence of the character. That's why it was such a dumb scene to watch. You're just sitting there just like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, there's a million ways you could save him right now. And the whole point of you losing your dad in the lore is he died from a heart attack and you couldn't stop that.
And
he literally has a line in the movie, I have all of these powers and I couldn't even save him.
right, exactly.
That's the core of the character, and they just threw that in the trash.
And that's
I was just
why
like,
I've always
okay.
hated Snyder's treatment of the character because he didn't know what the hell he was doing. And it showed, right? So Superman and Lois is in season 3 right now. Excellent show. If you
Good
guys
show.
aren't
That-
watching,
that is a good show.
it is an
I've heard
excellent
good
show.
things about it.
One of the main subplots in the story right now is that Lois has breast cancer. And she went to the hospital to get treatment. Obviously, it was a ruse to kind of get dirt on Bruno Mannheim, who was the big bad this season.
Mhm.
But Clark was in a waiting room with a couple of women who were getting chemotherapy. He was listening to their story, and they were telling him how this disease takes a lot out of you. It's internal, and you constantly have to fight against this voice that is telling you to just give in, give up, and just it'll be easier to let go.
Right.
And he's just sitting here. This man is Superman, and he looks like the most powerless dude ever.
And that's the core of the character. And if they don't ever bring that up, Superman is a boring character because outside, normally, yes, like you said, kryptonite or magic. Outside of those two things, the dude's invulnerable.
Right.
He has every single power to stop every single thing. It's like, that's why I don't like reading his books most of the time, because it's just like, dude, why are you even having trouble right now? You should win like within a second. Yes, you got to tell a story, but the character is so ridiculously overpowered. It's just like, unless you give him that human side of, dude, there's stuff that you can't do, regardless of how powerful you are. There's stuff that you can't deal with, and your powers ain't gonna do nothing for you. So
exactly,
if they don't tell those stories, I don't really get into Superman when they just have him as his standard, truth, justice, and all of that. It's just
totally get that.
Boring.
All right, guys, we're going to get ready to wrap up the show. But before we go, we want to start to promote some of the events that Sharpe and SheetStainz will be at. So one of them is going to be Counter Hit, which is coming in April. Where are you guys doing this one at? Is this at Takers too?
Yeah, I was going to say Takers.
Okay.
That's where all of our monthlies should be at from now on. I am assuming. But that is not a for sure, though.
For now.
Okay.
All right, so that one's coming up. When is this at?
Next week, right? Yeah, next week.
Okay. So anybody that's local, make sure you get over there.
Yeah, Wolverine Solid X was saying, he's good at Tekken, so he needs to come on over there.
And I've picked those side brackets. So.
That whole Takers vault is insane. It's so nice. We're not used to the nice setups. The FGC community has been so used to just garbage setups.
Right.
And having this as an actual good setup makes me so happy. I don't have to go around searching for people in this big warehouse. I don't have to be yelling. I can just say someone's name and they'll just look right at me. It's so nice. It's air conditioned.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. We're not used to that. And
it's a mall. You can go get pretzels and food and
It's
ramen.
awesome.
Great location. Like I stopped by at your last one. Really fun. Like I really liked the atmosphere. It was pretty cool. Even if you just want to come and spectate, there's stuff for you guys to do if you're not even participating in the tournaments. But just come and hang out. It's kind of a lot of fun. Obviously, really cool Comic-Con is coming up in August 5th and 6th. You guys are going to be out there running the tournaments there. Yep. Side note, we're planning on being there as well to run a live stream. So we'll be, tagging along with you. Maybe we'll have, you guys maybe be on the show when we're doing the broadcast out there. Kind of sucks that it's August 5th is the same day as SummerSlam. But it doesn't suck because GQ and I bought tickets, so we're going. And like a lot of our friends, while we'll be driving back from Flint to go to SummerSlam and then coming back to the con the next day. Honestly, really cool stuff that you guys are doing. Big ups to you guys because you guys have been. How long has GFG been around? No.
Well, I probably 4 years to 5 years now. Yeah. That would be a better question for Garrett. I've only been doing this for about. Maybe a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm not sure. I think it's been around 4 years now, possibly 5. And then I think we have one more. We have the Gauntlet. Is that next month or is that?
So the Gauntlet kicks off next month?
You can earn Gauntlet's points right now at any of our events.
Yes.
Coming up in the next month, we're going to have our last chance qualifiers and then a grand finale event where top 6 will compete.
Nice. That sounds good, man.
Yeah, no, you guys are doing great. Garrett's been great, friend of the show. We're supporting each other. So
Grand Finals Games, the first event was December of 18,
right?
2018.
So first of all, I want to thank SheetStainz and Sharpe for joining us on the show. Obviously, they brought a lot of anime knowledge. I need anime people to kind of chat with to be on the show. So you guys, if you're not opposed to it, definitely would love to have you guys back on the show.
Absolutely.
Cool. So next week's show, if you guys didn't know, that is the wrong graphic.
That's today.
That is today. That is the wrong graphic. So
right.
Let me switch back to me. Next week's show, I don't know why we don't have the graphic up there. Probably because I told producer that I switched it and we didn't do quality control. My bad on that. I'll take the blame on that. But next week we're gonna be it is the return of the Peep Show. Peep shows next week. That is our full blower show where we will talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. We're going to switch it up a little bit differently. It's not going to be all of us just playing a game, so we'll be spending most of the time talking to you, and I think we'll just do like a controller share where one of us is playing a game and the others are talking, interacting with the chat. So, we got more changes in store for the Peep Show, but make sure you stay tuned and come back and join us next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central for another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. Obviously, stay tuned. We'll be sending you over to Samtaro Games in a little bit, but I want to thank once more time SheetStainz and Sharpe for coming in. Yep. Appreciate you guys.
You're
welcome.
Thanks. Hope you had a lot of fun.
Highlighted a message, neat prices. I guess he's talking about SummerSlam potentially.
Yeah, you might be out of luck there, buddy.
Yeah.
You might be out of luck there, man. But anyway, he's talking about the events. He's talking about the events. So
it's like $10 sign up for each game. I think it's 10 or 5.
Yeah, so
I do all this.
Each game's $10 each, and it's $20 to get in usually. So prices are always TBA. So check our website.
Yeah.
But it's a great time.
It just really determines on how many people sign up for the tournament. Like Dragon Ball, like I said, last month the Dragon Ball wasn't that huge, but Tekken I think was over $100 on that one. I want to say Tekken was over.
Tekken is a very consistent game in the sense of
Tekken gets hyped too.
Just the entire fighting game community. Tekken's just it's been up there since it dropped. So
100%.
It's cool.
All right, guys. That's the show for this week. I want to thank again Sharpe and SheetStainz for coming in. For my friends GQ and the producer Simon Says and Samtaro Games, who will be throwing it over to you. I'm Kenshiro. See you guys next week. Hope you have a great one.
All right, enjoy your night, folks.
Yep.
Peace out, people.
There's a raid coming at you.
It is a raid coming on.
It's been a wonderful show. Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye, Teddy. That was speaking of video game anime, that was probably one of the best.
Fatal Fury 2?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Fatal Fury 2 was 100%
Fatal Fury
one
2
of the
and
best.
Motion Picture were both great. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Is it still recording?
No, it's just doing
the credits. You can go do your thing.
Yeah, because it's about to. Yeah, what you do that to yourself for?
You what?
I ain't never been that bored. I own it. I still don't watch it. I watched it one time when I first got it. It was just like, oh, this is terrible.